You know, sometimes in life you have really good examples, and sometimes you can have really good bad examples. You may not know what to do, but you know what not to do.
Right.
And you can improvise. I had to raise one of my younger brothers and going to parent-teacher conference when you're still in high school is, you know, it's an interesting situation, you know.
So you had to grow up pretty fast.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, you got to do what you got to do, and at the time, you don't think about it and think to yourself like, oh, this is rough. Oh no, I'm growing up so fast. You're in survival mode. You do what you need to do what you want to do.
And so let's talk about collegiate education.
Yeah.
And how did you make your way there? I mean, you coming from Mackenzie, which is, I'm not saying that you can't go off and go to college and prosper and grow.
Well, let's be honest here. I mean, Mackenzie's not the place that you go to and they're not just breeding scholars. That's not what it is. This is not Cass. This is not Renaissance. It's not King. It's not a big three in year 2000. You know what I'm saying? This is a place where the graduation rate is pretty low. You know, I came in with hundreds and hundreds of people in my class. We graduated, it was about 112 of us. And not everybody had a 3.0 above either. So I went to University of Michigan. I had a counselor that really looked out for me. And I messed around, did my thing, and I wanted to be a drug dealer and a rapper. You know what I'm saying? But
wow.
God had some different things in store for me. So
what did you study? At
Michigan. Math and economics.
That's awesome.
Got a master's degree in New York. Ran a high school math department out there. You know, became a legal guardian for a kid that I mentored in undergrad. Changed his life around a bit. Mentoring programs, did the thing there. So just all about making sure I can give back. I know that for the people that gave back to me, whether it be my grandmother who was my guardian, or whether it be Miss Champion who was my counselor in high school, or I wanted to be the same thing that those people were to me, to somebody else, and that's what I did.
I want to know this persona, you know, this person that you are right now. How did you think of it? Because if we come in from Chicago, I mean, I don't see too many men walking up the street looking like Shawn, or carrying himself like Shawn, or walking in the room the way that you do.
Yeah, Chicago.
Did you think of this person, or was it your experience in New York, or just mixing and mingling with different people? How did you say, you know, I want to be different, and here's how I want to present myself? You know,
oh, thank you very much, because I'll take that as a compliment. But, you know, I think you're hitting the nail right on the nose. I think that the thing is, I didn't have anyone to look at that was like this. And so I had to create this image of a man. Because, you know, I see some guys in suits, and it's like, man, you some random pass with a jerry curl, with a beat-up Cadillac, and that's not cool. Suits are not cool. That's whack. With a capital W, right? It's not good. And then, you know, I think I started to, TV really kind of raised me a bit. I would see guys on TV that I respected, because I really didn't have guys around me that I respected that were intellectual, and guys that were those classic, timeless type of guys. It was those smooth guys like Will Smith in his many roles as Mike Lowry, or Hitch, or Marcus Graham in Boomerang. You know, one of those cool guys who were charismatic but good men and intelligent men. Then you got, I mean, you have a lot of people. You have politicians. You got Barack Obama. You have all these people, and I'm looking at them like, man, I want to be like that, but I don't see them. Right. But that's what I want to be. So when you get in an environment where no one really knows who you are or where you come from, whatever you tell them is what you are. So you can manifest whatever you want. And that's what I did.
And let's talk about manifesting. Is this an idea that you learned about, or did your grandmother teach it to you? What is manifesting to you? Like, how do you manifest these ideas?
Well, you know, it's a vision that you create, and then it's milestones you go after to get there. And I think that, and God has a lot to do with it. So I created an image in my mind, and, you know, I prayed about it. I didn't grow up in the church, but through many of my trials and going through crazy things in life, you find God when you're broken, right? So I've been broken, And at that point of being broken is where I found God and really began to manifest things. Always a positive kid, no matter what's going on, but really began to manifest things like midway through college. And so I just wanted to be like one of those guys on TV. I wanted to be this supreme guy because I wanted to be a model that I never had.
Right.
And I'm like, man, if I'm going to be a model I never had, I need a piece of this dude. I need a portion of that, brother. Yeah. That was very kind what she did for me. I'm going to create this right here. And since you don't know me, when I walk through, I'm going to practice being what I want to be until it sticks.
You went through a lot of education, so I'm pretty sure you had to be mentally prepared for that and disciplined. And how did you stay so focused with so many different things that can go on? I mean, staying on top of your assignments and making sure you go to class and not just register.
Right, yeah. I think that comes from just, you know, when you don't have a safety net under you, you got to get across this wire. I don't care what you got. I don't care if you tip over. You better hold that boy with your pinky or something, right? And that's how I treat it all the time, because it's kind of like there's no safety net. You better get across this wire. If I got to bear hug that boy and scoot with both feet and one ankle or armpit, I'm getting across there. And so that's what I did. Again, you go in survival mode, and again, when you grow up with people that are really taking care of business, no matter whether it's good or bad, you see them being relentless about their business. My mom was relentless about her business till her dying day, you know. Like my dad was relentless about his business. No matter how they structured their care for their kids, I saw a lot of people that were relentless about their business. No matter whether you were some shoplifter somewhere or whether you worked in a plant, became a supervisor. A lot of people I was around, they were at the top of the game of whatever the game was. And so it's kind of like, okay, you got to take the good from all of the bad. You know, you got to weed out the weeds and then go ahead and make it happen.
And you would just be in hot pursuit of what you want until you got it.
I like that, hot pursuit. Yeah, sure. Just get a hot pursuit. I like that. Yeah, sure. And just go hard at what you want. Be an animal and everything.
Wow.
That's my thing. Like, I like to just look at all situations and just understand that you can just be an animal about anything you want to be. Relentless. You see this, you want this, you go get that. Period. End of story. I like my man Will Smith says. My man Will Smith, I love this guy. He says, put me on a treadmill against somebody else, and I will die before the other man wins. You know, either he's getting off or I'm going to die. That's how I feel. You know, with anything that I'm going to get results from, I will die to pull it off. I'm going to make sure it takes place.
And it seems like you have such a passion for the youth. I mean, now Youth Services, the City of Detroit Director.
Right.
Tell me about your initiatives, and I hear about soccer. I thought that was awesome.
Right. So we have a wonderful new mayor of Detroit, and Mayor Mike Duggan, wonderful, wonderful man. And he actually appointed me as the Director of Youth Services for the city. I have an extensive background in dealing with the youth, from temporarily having legal guardianship over kids to mentoring programs from the math departments in New York City to the top 5% in New York City, then a small school network, and just doing a lot of motivational speaking. My book speaks from an inspirational vantage point from a lot of youth. And so a lot of things that I do are all about the youth. So, you know, Mike Duggan saw me, Mayor Mike Duggan saw me, and he's just like, you know, I was working with him on the campaign, and he's just like, this brother is sharp. He's about the youth in many different ways. He orchestrates a lot of things in the city. You can see the community organizing through the Run This Town efforts. And he's just like, wow, let's bring this guy in. So, and it's amazing. It's a dream job for now, right? You know, some of my initiatives, one of them is to create an elementary soccer league, which is awesome. Right now we have 44 teams. There are 18 schools, approximately 700 kids. And it's exciting. Sports Illustrated picked it up. It's really cool. And just knowing that it's something that I'm spearheading, but under the vision of a great mayor, right? So I'm just fulfilling what he requests, and making it happen. And not only that, but also supplying 5,000 jobs for teens for next summer. And that means going around the country, getting the best practices from all these different cities that have similar agendas, and really putting together a Detroit model to make sure it's sustainable from a funding standpoint, and making sure that students have a pathway to careers and a pathway to college or whatever they want to go afterwards through these jobs. Financial literacy, job etiquette training, mentorship, and making sure that the employers can even be attached to the kids and raising the community with the community.
Now, if we have youth looking right now, most people who find a level of success have an organized day. We're talking time management. So if I say there are certain things that I want to do, I want to accomplish, Shawn, tell me about time management. Do you organize the hours of your day?
Do I? What?
Is this? Do you plan these days, these weeks, these activities, these goals out? I
have to, or I would lose my mind. I wouldn't have enough time to breathe. Oftentimes, people ask me, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, "I'm working on this." "What are you doing?" "I'm working on that." And they're like, "Dude, when do you relax?" I'm like, "I'll do that when I die." Yeah, I believe in really making things happen. So for me, I have to make sure that every day of the week, I plan it out before the week even comes. I mean, some things are planned out months in advance and are reoccurring. So I have a lot of reoccurring things that happen. And I have those things in my schedule, and I understand where free time is, so I can do whatever I want to do with that free time. Because otherwise, it also makes me more accountable for making sure I get things done in the time slots that I allocate towards certain endeavors. And without that, I would be all over the place. I wouldn't know what to do at all. So vision, milestones, put yourselves in these positions that are already fixed, and keep doing it. Consistent and persistent. Consistent and persistent. Pound, pound, pound. That drop that's dropping from the ceiling, it becomes violent. It begins to make a hole in wood if you just go ahead and let it drop over and over and over. It's violent. And that's what you got to be. Let your little bit of instances, the little things that you're doing just become violent.